Yeah.
So then I felt, now time come. The complete retirement. Now, because I should take. So last winter, few occasions I expressed some media, including CNN. Right? CNN. Some people a little bit shocked. But then there are last exile parliament meeting. Could you recall?
14th March.
14th March. Firstly, 10th March, my annual sort of statement, I mentioned about my decision of retirement. And then 14th, the exile parliament meeting, I sent my message. Now this is my decision. And then I think 19th, annual sort of religious teaching, annual. So there I explain the more detail. Then number of Tibetans who initially feel a little sort of uneasy. Now they understand the reasons. After they heard my explanation, and they say, oh, now there is real sort of reasons like that. So the nature, actually, Dalai Lama institution, since which century? 14th,
15th century.
14th, 15th century, Dalai Lama institution started.
Yes.
Then next, about 200 years, Dalai Lama institution, only spiritual field, no political power.
Only religious.
Only religious.
Yes.
First Dalai Lama, second Dalai Lama, third Dalai Lama, fourth Dalai Lama. Then around 17th century, fifth Dalai Lama, with help of some Mongolian, then developed Dalai Lama institution, become head of both temple and spirituality. That lasts now about 4 centuries. Now my basic sort of belief, firstly, I fully committed about democracy, work for democratization. Even before we became refugee, I think in 1952, I set up one reform committee. So we already, start some change. Then after we came to India, 59 April, and around 60, January 60 or February, we at once start work for democratization. Then, as I mentioned earlier, 2001, we already achieved elected political leadership. So I always telling people, spiritual institution and political institution must be separate. I always telling that. So while I'm telling other people, I myself, as Dalai Lama, spiritual leader, spiritual institution, Dalai Lama spiritual institution itself, also they was head of the political sort of setup. So therefore, I really feel now that sort of practice must end. At the timing of the end, now selfish reason, I usually see telling Tibetans and also some other, my friend, I'm 14th Dalai Lama and quite popular Dalai Lama. I think as far as Tibetan is concerned, I think more than 99% really trust me. So at such time, that 4-century-old sort of tradition voluntarily, happily, proudly end. by Dalai Lama himself. I feel very good. So I decided. Then our parliament, exam parliament, they asked me, first sort of their reaction is they asked me, please continue. Then I told them, no. Now, as far as our charter is concerned, as far as Dalai Lama institution as a head of temporal sort of leader, that must end. So now decided. Like that. What do you think? What the audience? No. Well, as my friend, do you think this is right decision or wrong decision? Prasad. Right.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. Then meantime, I want to tell you, see, the Tibetans also here, some Tibetan. As far as Tibetan basic right is concerned, and also just cause, I'm Tibetan. So till my death, the Tibetan body remain there. I'm Tibetan, like you. So long, you see, Tibetan body, Tibetan blood remain there. I also have the responsibility to serve Tibetan people, like any other Tibetan. So therefore, it's no reason to feel worry. No, I'm available. I think, according to some some Indian physician, very expert. You see, according to them, you see, my physical, they say, very fit. One occasion, actually, when I went to surgery about gallbladder remove. So at that time, the one doctor, one physician, described me as a young patient. Then I told him, oh, I'm not young. I'm over 70 years old. And he said, oh, I know your age, but your physical condition looks like young.
Oh, that's good.
So he mentioned like that. So therefore, I think I'm still, I'm quite available, right? I'm available another, I think, 20, 30 years, I think. So, okay. Then I can devote more time, more energy, another commitment. Two commitment is, number one, promotion of human value in order to achieve happy individual, happy family, happy community, and ultimately happy world on the level of as a human being. Each of us have to think about the future of humanity because we are part of that. So everyone, have the responsibility, should think. So my own share, I always talk how to bring more peaceful world, more happy world. Ultimately, if world becoming more compassionate world, then happy world, happiness, peace automatically come. So that's my number one commitment. And that also is not necessarily through religious training, religious faith. Simply, I usually call secular ethics. Now I must explain to you, secularism, my friend, some Muslim, as well as some Christian, my friend, they have some reservation, the word of secularism. So they had this interpretation. The secularism means rejection of religion. I think French Revolution and some other Bolshevik Revolution, I think some kind of little bit of rejection. That's not necessarily religious teaching or religious essence, but rather religious institution. Religious institution very much sort of related with ruling class. A ruling class suppress people, exploit people. So when revolution takes place, see, you need some kind of sort of enthusiasm, some kind of determination to against whatever the institution, even religious institution, must sort of rebel. Oh. So therefore, maybe some sort of meaning, secularism, don't care religious institution like that, but not necessarily negative attitude towards religion. One example, India, 1,000 years, the secularism there. Like Mahatma Gandhi, one of the person who really promoting India's secularism, India's constitution based on secularism, but he himself very religious-minded. And like the first Indian president, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and also Dr. Ambedkar, great lawyer who studied in England, who are the member of the American Constitution. So these very religious-minded, but they produce constitution based on secularism. According to India's reality, the secularism is very necessary because India, look today, beside homegrown different religious tradition, that is Buddhism, Jainism, and different sort of Hinduism, homegrown. Then from outside, Zoroastrianism from Persia, ancient time, and then Judaism, Islam, Christian, all, you see, very well settled in India. So 1,000 years, religious harmony is something very, very living tradition up to now. So because of that reality, if sort of moral ethics must be based on religious faith, then what is religion? More complication. So equal to all religion, the government, no preference, this religion or that religion. Respect all religion, and also respect non-believer. I just mentioned at university some stories. So in these, I think really realistic approach, where multi-religion, multi-culture, the secular sort of principle is very, very fit.